City sidewalks. City sidewalks, dude. Happy holidays, guys. Red and green, with a lot of green. I mean, a lot of red. Yeah, dude. Uptrend's gotta come to a finish at some point, man. I mean, we'll probably just retrace and keep going. I don't know. Who cares? What does matter is I started an Eval account, and I pretty much blew it in 2 days. So I started yesterday, and I'm now within $400 of hitting the drawdown, the max balance, the minimum balance. And that's hilarious because it's Christmas. And the reason I didn't even... I saw a video. I wasn't going to do it. I was thinking about doing it. I wasn't going to do it. This is how sales funnels work, guys. And I saw a video that was like, my funded futures changes are coming. The price is going to go up. So do it now if you're going to do it. And the funny thing is, I ended up paying full price for it because for some reason the coupon cards aren't working. Even the one from the video that I looked at. So I got suckered in, and I knew I was getting suckered in. But I did it. I was just looking. Obviously, I was looking for an excuse to get back into it. And then the first day, I just immediately went on tilt because I probably shouldn't have even traded. But I was like, Christmas is next week. It was just bad psychology, dude. Shouldn't have traded. Took one good setup. Tilted the rest of it to oblivion. And then today mainly followed my plan of taking one setup and then closing the computer. But I lost. And then the setup turned out to be good anyways. So, which we're about to look at, fellows. We're going to see what was actually good this week. I'll be in there tomorrow. I shouldn't be. I don't know. I shouldn't have been in anyways. It's kind of like it's Christmas, dude. Whatever. Here's $80, my funded futures. But yeah, dude, really things turned around. This is the last week. Apple's doing well. Ish. Fart coin, guys, my fart coin is up like 280%. But I only put in $1 because I'm not a really special person. Alright, so yeah, here's the actual stats. Down to, I thought it was out, but the minimum account balance is like 2,500 under 50K. The funny thing is today, I could have recouped all. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, bro. Okay. We're going to go, let's go into the chart, but I'm looking at an exciting new platform. It's not new. It's actually been sitting on my desktop for like a year and a half. I just never actually looked into it until I realized that the next logical step for me is like order flow, because that's actually going to it's just another layer to add on. I'm trying to do this thing like on the side, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it, and that's why I'm just trying to set one trade and forget it, close my laptop, go back to work. But this is going to add another layer. I am confident once I learn how to use it, but I don't know how to use it yet. But I'll drop you a link in the description to an exciting video that shows you exactly what, and I will show you the actual platform at the end of this video. So here's what the one that I took today. Okay. Part of my problem yesterday was that I had just had a long bias because we've been bullish, but uptrends end. And so what I was thinking about today, I've been watching videos and stuff past week or so, and what's on my mind is break of structure, supply and demand. How do we give our supply and demand an edge? Not just a random zone that we have a bounce at. How do we give us an edge? And break of structure is how we do that. One way to do that. And we saw this kind of zone down here. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and that higher low gets broken. And then we put in a lower high down here. So what does that think? What does that think? What do you think? What do you think? What does that make you think? What do you look like? What does that make you look like? That makes you think that you're looking like we're going to go down. So, not to mention, we get this kind of big impulse down. So that's where I'm looking for a short supply zone. Supply, whatever, dude. And near below the EMA. So, what did I do wrong here? I really think this was a good setup. We made this lower high below the zone, didn't touch it, made another lower low, came back up to the zone to bounce. What did I do wrong? You can see where I enter here. This is the sell. I entered when this closed. So, well, really I entered on limit, which I didn't mean to, but, and then I put my stop up here, and that's where I bought. I bought higher than I sold. That's not good. And what does it do? It goes back down. This is also a high risk. So, mathematically shouldn't be taking this because it was 700 something points of risk. But I set my thing down here, and so I came back, and my order fills weren't really on. So I came back, and after a few hours, after shutting my laptop, and I saw this move, and I was like, oh shit, I just made $2,000, and I more than recouped yesterday's loss. No, I didn't, because I had my stop here. So I've been playing with the idea of having the stop at, and this is something that this new platform is going to help me out with, is where to actually put my stop based on order flow and liquidity. But this was a case for putting my stop either above the EMA or above the zone, so above this high. That would have been so much risk. So that would have been another $1,000, 55 points of risk. Okay, that's a lot. I'm already taking on a lot of risk. Is it a crazy downside? Yes. And by downside I mean upside, because we're shorting. I don't know why this keeps getting goofy on me like that. But yeah, I didn't aim for the low. I aimed for the center here. $2,200 If you go for this resistance level where you expect to bounce, $3,000 to pass the evaluation. You need to make $3,000. This is a $3,000 move. And if you're using this as a stop, that's basically a 1 to 3. I feel like those don't never sound like a lot, but it is a lot. So makes a big difference. And then there was a supply zone down here if you want to have a runner or something. Just make $4,000, whatever, in a day. No big deal. That's kind of where I had. That's why I like drawing out these supply zones. Again, this supply zone, demand zone, whatever. This platform is going to help us decide. Do I drop my zone like this? Do I set my stop at the candle or up here? Because when I got in here, obviously there were still more orders up here that wanted to be tested. There's still more range. There's still more liquidity up here where I set my stop. This is what happens to people. Doesn't mean you're getting stop hunted. It just means there's order flow going on that you don't see. Do I draw my zone like this? Do I draw my zone like this? Two very different stories. And if you did draw your zone like this and take this, really, But then, you know, if you're risking that, that's just stupid. But, dude, but that's a discipline thing. I'm using the, and also this order flow is going to help you decide if you get in up here, doesn't make sense to sell everything down here. It doesn't make sense to sell everything down here. It doesn't make sense to sell here. Yeah, this platform. So, big fat L today. It was something like 800. It ended up being. But yeah, we like huge sell off. Oh, that was all yesterday afternoon. Okay, I'm still getting used to looking at the 5 minute. I'm on the 5 minute now because I'm working. Okay, so. Okay, cool. So it's not showing my trade lines from yesterday. That's cool. Great. Okay, whatever. It kind of doesn't matter. I'll show you what happened yesterday specifically. One good trade, lots of bad trades. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that was just tilting. All of that. So I ended up with 1,200. I hit my daily loss. I was doubling down, and I hit my daily loss. So just psychology stuff, guys. One good trade. After I took that one good trade, I was $20 in the green, and I should have left. Where was that one good trade, though? Let's take a look at the timestamps. I don't know. This is really being a pain. Your Honor. Yeah, such a silly way to get back into it. Oh my god. So, this is so annoying. Cool. One more time. No. Okay. So again, I was biased long yesterday, and actually looking at it now, yesterday was kind of a long day until, oh no, this was yesterday. Okay. I need like actual delineators. It was long overnight, and then it turned into this. Okay. So, okay, well, just bad price action. I was also looking at the 1 minute, which I think was another bad move. Here's a great place to get faked out because you have quote-unquote liquidity. I don't even know how much I'm going to use this kind of liquidity structuring anymore. Liquidity, lower low, comes straight back up to here. This is a great place to get faked out. It's shorting right there. It just kicks the shit out of you immediately. I did not short that, though, because, again, I was long. What I did do, though, was I think I took this bounce in here. I saw it coming up, creeping up to the 200. On the 1 minute, the 200 is a little lower, so I kind of saw it flip to 200, and I tried to get in long, and I actually did. I took it for a little 400, whatever that said, dollar long. Alligator's doing great, though, guys. The alligator thing, you know. You don't know. It's fine. Yeah, right here. Still not going to show my trades. That's cool, but... So I was seeing this. Two zones getting formed. And I took... I think I took something that actually didn't... Because if I had taken this, it would have failed if I was following the rules. Did I take it down here? No. Did I take this? No. What did I do? I think I took one of these two. I saw this as kind of a zone because it was looking like that in the 5, and perhaps, and I got out at 400. Why? I don't know. I also bought in again somewhere around here, and I had my stop too tight, and I got doinked out. Or I might have bought in here. Doesn't matter. The bottom line is I bought in, scalped out little 400 after 2 bad trades, and then kept doing it. And this looks really good right here. These two, except for that wick on top. But just like the cumulative delta, the EMA there, you know, you think it's going to, and it does get almost up to that high. So if you aim for those closes, it's good. I don't know if it's a 1-to-1 though. But really just like bad day, and it's all psychology. It's not even a 1-to-1. So, but you had this better zone down here if you waited for that. Actually, this is a pretty good zone. I don't know if I'd call it a better zone, but there is a zone down here, and you could wait for that. And you know, just a bad day, choppy day, bad psychology. And if we're actually just looking at the 5-minute, nothing good on the 5-minute here, boys. I marked this zone out. You get this little bounce down here, so you could go short. But the thing is, this is a really green candle, so then you're taking a 2-candle setup in the 5-minute, and that's not ideal. But you could take that. I wouldn't. I say I wouldn't, but I did a lot of stupid stuff yesterday that I would usually say I wouldn't. So yeah, I think I took the main good setup yesterday just at the wrong time. Today, sorry. And then yesterday there was nothing. Again, guys, the alligator. I'm not going to look at Monday and Tuesday yet. I might do that on my own or post it here. I have no idea. But we should be back testing, guys. We should be back testing, going over the charts. I mean, just take a little bouncy poo. Anywhere in here, you're golden. Calm 1-to-1. Chill little 1-to-1. Oh, that's a heavy 1-to-1. Take this bounce. Depending if you want to close, you know, goes down to the middle one, comes out. Just take a 1-to-1 on the candle, whatever. Another great bounce here. This is great. In trending markets, this little thing, just take a bounce off that yellow line. Close off the yellow. Sorry, here's what I'm doing it wrong. Bounce off the yellow, ideally with a wick. Close outside of the green if you're going long. Okay, so you buy right there, and you do get, that does get you a profit. Bounce off the yellow here, not a great bounce, but close outside. Bang, bang. That's a nice little scalping trick, and that's what I'm trying to make a little indicator for. See if you can't. But here's where it's not working. You're kind of seeing bounce, and then it's also reversing at the same time. So you gotta watch out. You gotta be aware of your trend and follow the main trend and trendy poo. So here's what we're looking at. But this is what I'm going to be looking at, guys. This is bookmap. If you haven't heard, I was going to go back and look at the actual setups that I took today, but I forgot that I'm on demo mode, so I only get an hour of data. This is the free version. It's a lot of data. basically what this thing is, and it's very confusing looking. Don't be scared. This is order flow, and the book, the level 2 orders, visualized as a heat map and as bubbles. And it just kind of places it in a historical and real-time fashion that is just much more manageable. Visually, I know it doesn't look that way, but you have people looking at the actual numbers flashing on the depth market, bid, ask, real time, moving the tape, just showing big ass orders or not. And what this does is just translate into this heat map. See if we can just kind of look at something that kind of makes sense to explain it. So basically, the strategies involving this, and what I would do is I would use orders. So these big red lines are resting orders, limit orders. And so if something like this happens, and I see this going sharply down from this area, I'm thinking this is a sort of supply zone in a sense, right? And this line is sort of a supply zone. And so if it comes up here, I can hopefully expect a bounce from it. But what do you see happen? And you see this in real time too. The line just ends. And what that means is anybody who had big fat resting orders here, which they did, just pulled them away. So there's no more resistance right here, essentially. So this is a way where we can say, okay, don't take a bounce off of this supply zone because it's going to be fake, because there's not any resting limit orders. There's nothing really to drive it down unless we get aggressive orders, which aggressive orders are the dots here. The bigger they are, the more aggressive. That's it. Red is sell, green is buy, aggressive. And you kind of see this existed already. So that's kind of, it's not one-to-one with supply and demand orders, but it's a way to supercharge your supply and demand zones. And you can see what happened here is there was already resting orders here. Big pool of resting orders. A little too close. I'm going to mess with it. There's a plethora of information about this stuff to make it work for you. But price comes up here. You see big aggressive buying. If you see big aggressive buying on a chart, on a price chart, like a big green candlestick, this is also why I don't like to trade breakouts. You're thinking, oh man, that's a ton of. What you're also going to see is a big volume bar. But if you're looking at volume on the chart, you're not seeing what's buying, what's selling. You're not seeing it in the right context. So you're seeing a lot of volume and a lot of green, and you're like, oh man, this could break through. And then what happens? We see this line doesn't go away. It lightens. So orders are getting absorbed despite strong buying, aggressive buying pressure. And we see price go down. What happened back here? We had one of those same lines, but this time, same situation as up here. What's the difference is that it was actually able to break through. So that line obviously was not as strong. And you can see it's not as dark red as it is here. That's the heat map situation. And it kind of did something similar down there. So it goes down. And you can see it staying. You know, oh, this is a strong level. We want to pay attention to what happens when price hits that level. And what happens? The orders get zipped away, which these are sell orders resting because they're above price action. They get pulled away, so that means people who are planning to sell are not going to sell at this level anymore passively, and we get price doesn't shoot straight through that area, but it does just kind of, go. It just goes. It floats through. It comes back down. So I need to figure out how this might work. In longer time frames, you'll notice this is really short. 1 minute, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 30 seconds. But I'll link a better example in a video. They have a channel. Bookmap has a channel, and I definitely want to backtest, but it's not free.
Trade NQH5 sell $56.
Yeah, so that was, I think, like a tape. I don't know, whatever. And then also cumulative volume delta. That's like the delta divergences. You can kind of see how down here in the bottom right, what the volume looks like, the volume delta. So that's it, dude. Merry Christmas. Hopefully I'll be on tomorrow training. I don't know.